Hi guys, welcome to the Geek episode number 1. Today I have been joined by Ma'am. She's the CEO of Bullseye. Hi Ma'am.
Hi Vaibhav.
Would you like to introduce yourself in a few sentences?
Okay, sure. So I am Bhavya. I was born and brought up Chandigarh, then went to Shillong for my PG, then worked in Mumbai, then got married and shifted to Nagpur. And I think since 2012 I've been in Nagpur, and now I'm mother of 2 and also taking care of Bullseye.
What was your childhood like? Because you said both the parents were teachers. Your sister went up to be a teacher.
Yes.
How did you went from engineering to an MBA?
Okay, so childhood, yes. So we are 3 sisters, and my both parent professors. So my childhood has been quite female dominated, so to say. So you're a very close-knit family, all of us, very different. So I'm the only one who likes maths. Both my sister hate maths. So this is, with tussles, fighting all along and working. And then decided that I, as most engineers do, that not really, yes, taking that route, and went on I would say, for a 2-year holiday in Shillong. So,
You, before going to Shillong,
Yes.
I am Shillong, you should prepare for the CAT in Bullseye.
yes.
And now you are the global head, the CEO of Bullseye.
Yes.
How does that make you feel now?
Oh, of course, it's a very journey with a lot of ups and downs, lot of emotions. Back from a student to becoming, partner, starting Nagpur Center, and then a lot of responsibility on the shoulders. Now, taking care of a brand that you really associate yourself with, very close to. So, I would say it's a very, very emotional attachment that I have with the brand.
Did you thought you always will come back to teaching again?
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. Yes, of course. So, because everybody was a teacher in my family, so I used to tell, I still remember my younger days, and I said, "Meko teacher nahi banna hai." Everybody is getting into teaching line, but as the fate would have it, बोलते हैं ना, खून में जो चीजें होती हैं वो बाहर आ ही जाती हैं. So teaching है खून में.
What was your mom and dad used to teach?
So my dad was a professor of mathematics. Is a professor of mathematics still in my mom bio. Botany. Yeah. Yes, so my mother is botany, biology, and father maths. So we could go anywhere, right? Pure sciences, biology or maths, we always had to make a choice. Yeah. And I'm my daddy's girl, so I took up maths.
How was the experience at IIM Shillong? It's a beautiful place.
Oh yes. It's, as I earlier also mentioned, it was a 2-year holiday. It's a beautiful place. You could just stroll out of campus, go on a walk for hours. The surroundings beautiful, very different culture that you get introduced to. So, compared to our traditional patriarchal family, Shillong, the family system is matriarchal there. So, very different culture being in Northeast, the life of momos, every day having that. And of course, in terms of the institution, it almost felt like, working with the startup. This was the 2nd year of the college when I joined. So, yes.
Shillong was really new then. Right?
Correct. I was the 2nd batch.
Oh.
So, there were, forming, there was no alumcom, So, I would say that was an experience of working with a startup institution. And that's been really meaningful learning for those 2 years that I had there working with Shillong.
How is Shillong?
College or city?
The city.
City, as I said, it is very, welcoming in terms of the environment. All your allergies that you have will go away. So, for example, I was, I used to have a chronic cold. I was famous. Even in June, I would have a hanky with me. But you move to Shillong, nothing required. It's so pure, it's welcoming. You can walk. And yes, umbrellas are part of your dress code there. So, you always carry one when you move around. So, worth visiting. You should go. It's beautiful.
Looking back to your college, you were probably the 2nd batch.
Yes.
And you fall in love with the 1st batch, the senior of it.
Yes.
If you can go there. This is personal.
Yes.
How did that happen?
So, when you're in a college, you understand, you go there, it's a journey of life, it's a destiny, you would have it. And yes, Sarvesh was my senior 1 batch. So when you were working, so we were hardly 66 in my batch and hardly around 50 in the senior batch. So a lot of where you working together, building relationships, helping the institute grow. So our communication interactions were very close.
You were like also participating in the growing of the institute, like
yes.
Community.
Yes, you were attached to with the professors, with the teachers. So when you're building everything from the scratch, you really have very deep relationships there.
That's beautiful, ma'am. I am Shillong. Then I guess you worked at Yes Bank.
Yes.
How was that?
So it was a campus placement. I'm an HR person at heart. So one of the very select few at campuses who wanted to work in HR, so got placed with human capital management. Again, I would say in terms of the locations that I've been lucky to be in a beautiful places. So Yes Bank, I still remember our office used to be in Worldly Sea Face. Yes, that building, the top floor and the view from there. So again, I would say in terms of that, the place where I worked have been beautiful places and of course with beautiful people.
Born in Chandigarh.
Yes.
Raised up there.
Yes.
You're engineering there. Shillong, then PG there. Then you worked in Worli.
Yes. And now I'm in Nagpur.
So many places you have been. What's your favorite place?
Oh, that's a question where you don't go down the drain, right? So I have a lot of fights between at my home, so better we avoid that question.
Still sitting up in Shillong. I will take that. How was it moving from a structured company to back? Because when you got married, you came here to Nagpur.
Yes.
And then you took the opportunity to have the startup, like your family business. Yes,
I did work. Yeah, yes, for some time. So that was always part of the plan. So Sarvesh has his family business settled, in Nagpur. So we always knew that we were going to come back to Nagpur for sure. That was the decision. And I, for one, and even the family wanted that I should understand the family business first. That was one of the major factors. And second, of course, not a lot of job opportunities that you have in Nagpur. Way back, I'm talking about 2012. There's still a lot. Back then, there were quite, very limited opportunities available. So we thought, why not that I, understand what family is into. And the best part was at that time, Sarvesh was working with the SR group. So I joined the family business, understood it. In the meanwhile, we experimented, brainstormed what we want to start. We came across a lot of ideas, but finally education.
What was the family business about?
So we are into manufacturing corrugated boxes. The brown outer packaging, you get your parcels of Amazon and Flipkart in khadda bolte hain jisko. So we are a manufacturer of corrugated boxes.
But I have a cat. She loves those corrugated boxes.
Oh.
You take her mom
my kids love, so they try to fit themselves in a box and wrap themselves.
Working in Yes Bank, it's such a big company. It's a structured corporate company, and then coming directly to family business where you have to manage everything.
Correct.
Was there a transition in between them?
Oh yes, it was a sea change, I would say. Coming from your cushioned office to a factory in the heat of Nagpur, right? So where you don't have any of the swanky offices, where you're working on the shop floor. That was my first close, association of working in a shop floor in my family business. So it's a contrasting world. Talking with your machine operators, your supervisors is way different comparing talking to a bank manager. So, but challenges have been part of life. Loved it. I always loved changes. It was, working with understanding business. So I come from a service family. So understanding business in itself took a lot of time. That how you develop that. And of course, then starting Bullseye was again, working, as I say, with the startup. And I always like. So that was fun.
What did you learn about entrepreneurship in between the family business?
I think I'm still learning. So entrepreneurship is a journey where every year I sit and I still like how to build a business. I don't know the answer. I am still learning, but yes, one thing that I closely remember when I started working, my father-in-law told me that business एक बच्चा होता है अपना, एक बच्चे जैसा होता है, ऊपर से वो बच्चा ऐसा है जो रो भी नहीं सकता. So you have to minutely understand कि वो बच्चा क्या है, उसकी क्या ज़रूरत है. Business एक वैसा बच्चा है. That has stayed with me.
How did Bullseye happen?
So we were thinking what to start, and Sarvesh wanted to come back to his family business, quit the job. Family business did not require 3 people full time to be working, and I wanted something of my separate from starting working in Nagpur. So we thought of a lot of ideas.
I need to do that.
Yes.
Plants a seed somewhere.
Somewhere in your head that try and at least experiment once in life, something of your own. So when we were thinking at that time what to bring to Nagpur, I interacted with a few of the younger cousins of Sarvesh. They were at that time preparing for their MBA entrance examinations. So talking to them, helping them a bit, I understood that probably in the education space, the system that I have studied, I really loved the system, the Bullseye Chandigarh where I studied, right? How a batch size of only 25 students would be there. So I thought probably let me try and see how this kind of an organization or setup would fare in Nagpur, because I felt that there is a gap somewhere where I can try.
Do you think the aspiration level of Nagpur are low?
Compared to?
Compared to tier 1 cities, tier 2 cities?
I would not say aspiration levels are low of the students, right? I'm sure Vaibhav, you're very aspirational, you really want to achieve lot in life. So aspirational level में मैं नहीं बोलूँगी, there's a difference probably in the way the life has treated these people. So in Mumbai, everybody is always hurrying up, want to run around. That's what the city teaches you, to be on your feet, right? Whereas when you come from a city which is as peaceful as Nagpur, you understand the importance of stand and stare and appreciate. So that's the difference I would say is there between the kids there and the kids here.
गाने सुनते हो?
Yes.
You like music? What are your favorite bands?
Of course, the favorite bands in terms of India, matlab Indian singers, I talk about the Indian music. So whatever I want. Okay. So I have my favorites both the places. So when I talk about, when I am in a completely different mood, I'm a person who would even listen to Jagjit Singh, ghazals, yes. And I am also a person who would go all the way and attend a Coldplay concert.
Oh.
So and take my kids along for that concert. So that's what I am.
When you started Bullseye, what are the main challenges that you saw in Nagpur? Selective to Nagpur.
Yes,
what
yes.
are the problems that you saw that you really thought I can do better in that segment?
As I mentioned earlier, the gap that I felt, that probably the model. I would not say that something was not good or the others were not doing a good job. I felt that probably a different education model was required, where my focus was on, as we sitting in this classroom, having a classroom which can house only 25 students, where the teacher should be able to do a face reading and tell whether the kid has understood or not. And if a parent visits, we know घर पे शादी है तो इसलिए बच्चा disturbed है, इसलिए पढ़ाई नहीं हो रहा है. So that was the vision, and still I'm trying to achieve that with what I started Bullseye.
So ज़्यादा ध्यान देने से, ज़्यादा one-to-one वो लेने से कुछ changes आए हैं?
I think so. I tend to believe that what I am, the others, yes. That is the feedback loop which is there somewhere in the society, where your students only come back and tell you this. And when your students come back, visit you after 4-5 years with a mithai ka dabba, that they are happy with their life and now a box of chocolates. So you understand that you've done some value add in somebody's life. You've done some meaningful change, and that is what keeps you moving in life.
So we are sitting here in your Bullseye,
yes.
Nagpur. How many of like these do you have around India?
Okay, so currently Bullseye Center, there are 7 centers in India that are running of Bullseye. So in Maharashtra, we are in Pune, Nashik and Nagpur. That is the state where we have maximum centers, because Bullseye started in Pune. Okay. So way back in 1996. चंडीगढ़ से पढ़ के आए तो जम्मू में भी है Bullseye. So wherever we find like-minded people who are passionate about teaching and making a difference in the students' life, having a meaningful relationship, we would be happy to be associated with such people.
As a CEO of Bullseye.
Yes, that's a heavy word, yes.
What is the vision for 5 years ahead?
The vision is as many lives as I can touch, make a difference, because I believe the generation which is coming up next, right, the younger generation, they probably need more of attention, more conversations, more understanding, more value add, because nobody, gets to get lost in the crowd. So the generation where every individual is unique, they prefer to have their own identity. So they would more and more require individualized, customized solution to their problems.
You see the difference between when you were the student, abhi ke jo students hain.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Oh yes, वो एज ओल्ड है. हर जनरेशन को अपने से अगली जनरेशन बेकार ही लगती है. So I am also part of that bandwagon now, right? Where we feel हमने तो ये किया है, and आजकल की जनरेशन से ये नहीं होता है. But jokes apart, yes, the generation is changing. The younger generation, I feel, have a lot of challenges which we did not face because of the exposure. So it takes a lot for us to understand, go in their shoes and understand their environment, their pressures and their challenges, because we cannot fathom them, we did not face them. So that is a shift which is there in the generation.
When walking in your office, I saw there's a book cupboard.
Yes.
Filled with books. You love books?
Oh yes, I love books. Once upon a time I used to have my mission statements that I have to finish 52 books in a year.
52 books in a year?
One book per week. So I was that fanatic about reading.
So I don't do What is your favorite book and why?
Okay, so that answer would have changed over the years. So currently I would say the favorite book is What to Expect When You're Expecting. So my favorite books have changed. So of late this has become, last 3-4 years. That's a book that taught me a lot of things which I did not know earlier. I had not read that genre, not required to read that genre beforehand. So yes, that's the latest book which has taught me a lot.
You mentioned that no woman in your husband's family has worked before you.
Yes.
Because it's a Marwari family and you are coming from Punjabi family.
Yes.
So, वो transition के बीच में, I'm sure a lot of challenges would be there.
Challenges थे जो luckily मुझे नहीं sort out करने पड़े, सर्वेश को sort out करने पड़े. So he had to convince his family, right? And that so मेरे लिए तो बहुत आसान था बस बोलना. And for him also, he knew he's better she's off the house, right? And not there the entire time. So that challenge he managed. He spoke. So in that sense, I would say I've been blessed. I have a very, very understanding family. My in-laws have really supported. So that way, again, I've been blessed.
You're also a mother.
Yes.
How do you manage this in between?
As I said, I'm still learning. Every day I have questions. I have questions at the night. Am I doing justice? Am I being a good mother? Am I being a good teacher? Am I able to take care of my responsibilities? The questions come every night where you feel that, am I giving less time to my kids? And then one day you feel, am I giving less time as a teacher to my students? Then third day you feel, am I giving less time to my partners across the center? So these doubts and thoughts keep on coming, but I make sure they keep on just pushing me. I realized one thing, these doubts and thoughts will never stop coming. They will always be part of life, whatever you do. You bound to one day think that you're not doing enough. And I think it's important those thoughts come, because those are the thoughts that keep on pushing you. You need a supportive family. Your kids try and understand. So my kids understand that I have to go. They're there. Sarvesh understands. My mother-in-law understands. My partners over here also understand. When I tell them, my kid is ill, I have to suddenly rush back. I have to pick, or I cannot take this call because I'm in a school concert. So my partners over here, the professional people I'm working, also understand that I'm a mother. And I need to balance that. So that way it's a family structure that is keeping you moving ahead.
What does it feel like to stepping into a national role job area? Because I guess in the start, you must have had only Nagpur.
Correct.
And then the succession planning would have been in head. How was that feeling?
Probably I could say there was no choice given to me. I was told you have to do this, and as a sincere student, जो बोला गया है वो हम करेंगे. I will not contest on that. So yes, of course, there was again I would say thoughts like, will I be able to do justice? Can I do it? I'm still trying.
Were you fearful a little bit?
I still am, Vaibhav. I still am. Whether I can do it or not, but then just trying. Let's see what happens.
What advice would you give to women trying to break into leadership in business fields?
Okay, so my advice would be set your priorities, correct? The decision making is easier then. Because decision making is the most difficult, aspect where you face, every day we're making decisions. What should I do? What time should I start my day? What time should I end? Should I cancel this meeting and go for a movie? Should I take this trip? Every day decision making would be there. My single most advice, the decision making gets very easy once you have priorities set in your life.
You get fatigued when you try to take so much decisions as a mother, as an entrepreneur, as a...
Correct. The decision making is not at all tiring for me, as I said, because once my priority, जहाँ पे मुझे दिक्कत आती है when I don't know what I want, what is my priority, वहाँ पे it's very taxing to take that. Why? Because my mental space, I argue with myself that what is it that you want? Right? Like, what is your priority? Yes, चलता रहता है वो. लेकिन अगर priority set होती है तो decision making is very easy and you enjoy. Vision एक set है ना, ये करना है, decision making gets aligned and it is not taxing.
Okay, so ma'am, this is the last segment of the podcast.
Okay.
These are some rapid questions.
Acha, okay.
What's the most rebellious thing you have ever done?
Starting my own business.
A moment when you felt completely lost.
When my firstborn son Pratyush used to cry in the evening like anything for 4 hours straight, I was lost. What to do, I didn't know.
Book or movie that changed your perspective on life?
Way back, it was The Alchemist.
Alchemist, beautiful.
Yes.
If you could go home and change one decision, what would it be?
Probably a bad hire that I did 3 years back.
Okay.
That's the single bad hire. I would like to change that decision.
What's your go-to stress relief activity?
Writing or hugging my kids.
Would you write?
Oh yes. A lot of diaries I filled.
Oh. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Morning person or night person?
Morning.
Teachers? If you weren't an entrepreneur, what career would you pursue?
Therapist.
Therapist, it's a beautiful answer. What's next for professionally and personally?
Okay, I think for me the boundaries are merged, as I said, priorities. So I am not going to prioritize my personal level over professional or my professional over personal.
They're two different separate things.
For me, I would merge them, right? As a life, my goal and vision have to be together. For both personally, yes, of course, I want to be able to build resilience in my kids because I can expect the challenges they're going to face when they're going to grow up. So I believe in reverse mentoring. You guys mentor me what is happening in the world, right? So taking that cue, I want to be able to build those skills so that my kids can face the newest challenges they're going to come. Professionally, I want to make sure that I am able to carry the ethos and the values of Bullseye to every new center that we open. So that is my aim.
What's one piece of advice for students preparing for competitive exams?
Number one, work on your exam anxiety. I've seen so many kids, they prepare so well. They're bound to get a good score, but they get anxious exam anxiety when they sit for the exam. So I would say first work on that skill and then prepare. Second, especially catering to CAT, one skill they need to build is be smart in solving. Judge which question is easy and attempt that first. You don't need to be super intelligent to crack CAT. You need to be super good at judgment and pick the easier one. Don't pick difficult questions.
How can people connect with you and learn more about this from Bullseye if you want to share something?
I'm always available here. Bullseye Nagpur, 10:30 to 8 p.m. At this center in this classroom, you can walk in. I'll always be there.
Thank you, ma'am. That's the end of the podcast.
Thank you, Vaibhav. It was great talking to you.
Only see at the camera and say subscribe to our channel, like the video.
What's the name of the channel? You can edit it, right? Bata do.
You guys, you should like the video said by ma'am.
Okay. So all of you should subscribe to this channel. Vaibhav is doing a wonderful job.
Yes.
TNP of Rice Only, you will get more. You will get more of Vaibhav to see. So like the channel.
We're getting new shows upcoming. Please do that. Thank you.